Welcome to the Acrosoft Training Video Library and our Survey Module training. This training will teach you how to use Acrosoft Freedom to create surveys that you can distribute to entire groups of people. So why would you need to send out a survey to a group of people? Well, surveys are great ways to get customer feedback on new ideas or programs and to get people to tell you how current programs or initiatives are working. They can be used for education and training, research, or even just for fun. Surveys provide fast responses because users can access them with just one click, and they can be customized to fit your needs, emailed to entire groups of users, and data analysis is presented in an intelligent and easy to understand way. With Acrosoft Freedom Surveys module, you can create a survey, email it to an entire list of subscribers, and create a report on the data that you bring in, all within one module. So to use a real-life example of how you might use the Surveys module, we'll create one that asks people to tell us how they felt about our surveys training class. We'll create the survey, use a few different input options for the questions, email it, then create a report to display the data. So let's get To begin, log in to the Blue administrative interface by adding /admin.php to the end of your URL. Then, from the login page, enter your username and password. And from the home page of the Blue administrative interface, click on the Surveys module. On this screen, you see the Surveys main tab, and below that there's a button to create a new survey. Click on it to add a new survey, then enter a name for your survey and a description. So we'll name our survey Survey Module Survey, and then our description will be Training Feedback. Then click OK, and your survey has been created. And now you'll see that you have 4 subtabs within the survey's main tab, so let's quickly review each one. The Overview tab works the same as a dashboard. It keeps track of submission statistics and email campaign statistics and allows you to edit the survey and resend it. The Questions subtab is where you create your survey fields just the way you do when you're creating a form. You can add new questions, copy fields from existing forms, and preview your survey. The Email subtab allows you to create an email campaign that you can use to send your survey. And the Reports tab lets you create detail and summary reports to view your data. So let's begin working on our survey. We'll begin at the beginning with the Questions tab. Now, as I mentioned before, this works much the same way that the Forms module does. First, you can edit your survey configuration to create a confirmation page that visitors will see after they submit the survey, a confirmation email sent to survey takers after they complete the survey, and a confirmation email that's sent to a site administrator to let them know that a survey submission has been received. So let's go ahead and set all of these up. On this screen, our page title is what we named our survey, and that has been auto-populated for us, so we'll leave it the way it is. We don't have any display fields set up yet, so we'll leave this blank for now. And then let's set up this survey to have an administrator emailed whenever a survey submission is received. You can select who you want to have the submission emailed to, and for this example, we'll select Form Administrator and be sure to check off the Send Notification Email checkbox. Then enter the subject line of the email, which states that a submission has been received, and an email address. And you can enter multiple email addresses here if you'd like it to go to more than one person. For example, maybe your site administrator or your form administrator, as well as the person who specifically processes survey submissions. Just separate each email address with a comma if you do choose this option. So we'll enter training@acrosoft.com in our email to field. And then next is the confirmation page, which appears after the survey taker submits the survey. Again, until I create fields in the survey, field options are not available here, so we'll come back to those. For now, I'll enter. Thank you for completing the survey. We appreciate your feedback. And as I mentioned, you can also choose to send the survey taker a confirmation email letting them know that their submission has been received. Remember that in order to use this option, you need to ask for an email address in the survey or it won't work. So we'll check off the Send Confirmation Email box. Our subject line will be, "Thank you for completing our survey." And our confirmation email text will be, "Thank you for completing the survey," and providing your feedback. Your responses are being processed. Then click Save. To return to the Questions subtab main screen. Now, on the main page of the Questions subtab, you'll see that this page looks very similar to the one you would be working with when you create a form. You can add new fields, preview your form, and even copy fields from other forms to make the whole process quicker. So let's start with that. We'll copy a commonly used field, the Your Name field, from the Contact Us form. To do that, click Copy from another form, then select the form name from the Form drop-down menu, and the field name from the Field drop-down menu. Then click Copy Field, and your field has been copied and you can see it in the list of fields. So now let's add a new field asking for survey takers to enter their email address. So we'll add a new field. Enter an order number. And order numbers help the system determine in which order the questions should appear in your survey. The system automatically orders fields as you create them, but if you'd like to order them yourself, we recommend entering order numbers in multiples of 10 so you can go back and add a field between two fields if you need to. Again, if you'd like the system to auto-populate the order numbers for you, just leave this field blank. But since my order number for my first field was 10, I'll use 20 for this one. Then select a field type, and you can choose from custom, standard, or static. Since we're asking for an email address, this will be a standard field, which is one that appears in many different kinds of forms. And then choose a unique ID. And the unique ID identifies what the field is for, so from this dropdown we'll choose email, since we're asking for an email address. And then select an input method, which allows you to select what kind of input will be visible for those filling out the survey. Since we're asking for an email address, visitors need to be able to type that information in, so we'll choose a text box. Then enter a label, which will tell your survey takers what you're asking for. For this, we'll enter, "Please enter your email address." We'll keep the format for this one the way it is now. Set the required selector to yes, meaning that survey takers have to fill out this field in order to submit the survey. Our input validator will be email, and that tells the system what exactly it should be looking for. So if someone enters an invalid email address or forgets to use the @ symbol, for example, the system will recognize that. And then enter an alert message, which is required when making a field required. So for our alert message, we'll enter, "Please enter your email address." And then scrolling down, 40 is a good standard width for a text box, and we'll leave maximum characters blank. Then click Save. And our new field appears in the list. add a survey question. So again, we'll add a new field. We'll enter order number 30. This time our field type is going to be custom, since we're asking for a non-standard field. Our unique ID will be use, since we'll be asking the survey taker how useful they found the surveys module training. And our input method will be radio buttons. And we always recommend using radio buttons because it makes compiling survey data much easier and more readable. Then enter a label, which again identifies what we're asking for. And this one will be, how do you feel about Acrosoft Freedom's survey module? For format, we'll choose the second option, which will place the label above our radio button. And this will just make the survey look a little nicer. Set the required selector to yes, making this a required field. And our alert message will be, please enter a selection. And again, remember that you cannot leave the alert message field blank when making a field required. And then finally, we'll enter our options. It's best practice to enter an internal value, which is only seen on the administrative side of the site, followed by the display name, which is what your visitors will see on the survey, making sure to separate the two values with a comma. So let me show you. I'll enter 1, which again is the internal or administrative name for the option, followed by the displayed name for the option, which will be very useful. 2 will be somewhat useful. And 3 will be not useful. Then we'll save. And from the screen, now let's preview our survey by selecting the Preview button. And it looks good so far. So now we can close the window, return to Blue, and from here you can add as many fields as you'd like. And here is our completed survey with all of our questions entered in. So now that we've added our questions to our survey, let's preview. And it looks good. There's all of our questions with our radio buttons. And now let's send our survey out as part of an email campaign, and then we'll create a report. So we'll go ahead and switch to the Email subtab. And to send an email campaign from within the survey module, you'll need to have already imported a subscriber list and created an email template in the email marketing module. A subscriber list contains a list of email addresses that you'll be sending your campaign to, and the template is the graphic design that wraps around the text of your email, much like a PowerPoint template formats a presentation. The Surveys module pulls subscriber lists and templates from the email marketing module so you can use them to send out your surveys, and this is a great example of how Freedom's modules work together. We cover creating and importing subscriber lists and creating and using templates in depth in our Email Marketing 1 and 2 trainings, and of course, if you have any questions about any of these steps, you can always email support@acrosoft.com. So getting back to sending our survey and the Email subtab, first, you'll enter an email address that you want the survey to come from. This can be your personal email address or a general email address. And you can see here that training@acrosoft.com was auto-populated for me, so we'll leave it at that. You can also enter a from name, which is not required. Sometimes from name is displayed instead of email address, sometimes in addition to. We'll go ahead and enter Acrosoft Training Department. can enter a subject line. And the default for the subject line is to auto-populate with the name of your survey, but you can edit the text, so let's do that. And we'll call this subject line, "Please take our training survey." Then select a template that you'd like to use from the drop-down list, which wraps the email text. And the drop-down list displays every template that you've created in your email marketing module. We'll choose the and then in the subscriber list, form distribution list, and membership distribution list sections, check off which lists you'd like your survey to be sent to. You can send to as many different subscriber lists as you want. The system will automatically check the list for duplicate addresses, removed or invalid subscribers, or those who have opted out of receiving email campaigns. For the purposes of our survey, we'll check off training attendees. And then scrolling down in the HTML email content section, you see the editor, and you see that in the editor, some text has been auto-populated for you. This includes a link to your survey, and clicking on it will take the user to the survey on the live site. And the text also includes the survey name, which again is the name that we gave the survey when we first created it. The text auto-populates for you here as a time saver, but you can edit it with our editor if you need to, changing it to give your email a more personalized feel or providing instructions for your survey takers if need be. You can also bold, italicize, and underline text, change the text color, and even insert images or other links. So let's go ahead and edit our text a little. First, I want to add a tag that will auto-populate the survey taker's first name, which gives the email a little bit of a more personalized feel. So to do that and see what tags are available, I'm going to click on the Show Tags button. And you see that my tag options are F name for first name and L name for last name. I want to select the first name tag here. So I want to make note of exactly how the tag name is spelled. It's all lowercase with no spaces in between. And then I can close my Show Tags window and enter the tag exactly as it appeared within double brackets. And this will automatically auto-populate my survey taker's first name. Then I want to type, "We look forward to receiving your feedback. Sincerely, the Acrosoft Training Department." Then we can preview our email. Which saves our work and shows us how the email campaign will look. Check our link if we need to. And then select Back. Which takes us back to our Overview tab so we can send our campaign. Now, before we send the survey, let's go back to the Questions subtab and edit the survey configuration and add display fields. We'll add the name field to our display fields field. And to do that, I click on the gray arrow and then select Form Field Name from the list of options. And remember that I can add multiple display fields here. I just need to separate each field with a comma. Then let's add the name field to our confirmation page and our confirmation email, which, like the email campaign that we just sent, will auto-populate the survey taker's first name. So to do that, I click Insert Custom Fields. I'm going to select Form Field Name from the list, which includes all of the fields that I've added to my survey. And then I can edit my text as need be. And we'll do this for our confirmation email as well. Insert Custom Field, form field name, and then I can save. Then again, to send the survey, you have two options. You can send it from the Overview subtab by clicking on the Send link next to Email Statistics, or you can return to the Email subtab and click on the Send button next to Survey Module Survey. When you do this, you're taken to a screen that will allow you to send your survey and which also displays the campaign name, the number of emails that you've selected to be sent, the number of invalid, pending, opted out, and duplicate emails, the total number of emails to be sent, and then below that you have the option to choose what day you'd like the campaign to be sent on, as well as what time you'd like the campaign to be sent. You must enter a start date. And remember that if you do not enter a start time, the survey will start sending immediately and there's no way to edit it after you've sent it. Once you send your survey, as people respond to it and click through, the statistics in your Overview tab will update. And you'll also notice that after you send the survey the first time, the Send button text on both the Overview tab and the Email tab changes to Resend, allowing you to resend your survey to your subscriber list. So we'll go ahead and click Send. Our campaign has started sending. Our Send button text has changed to Resend. And now let's look at the survey as I received it in my training email account. We'll take the survey and then we'll come back to look at the survey statistics and create a report. So I'm going to log into my training email account. Click Sign In. I've received the survey, so I'm just going to open it up. Display images. And then click on the link to take the survey. And note that my name has auto-populated, just like we told it to. And now let's go ahead and fill out the survey. I'll enter my name and my email address. And then we'll go through and answer each question. How do you feel about Acrosoft Freedom Surveys module? Do you feel the Surveys module training was useful and informative? Do you feel comfortable creating and sending a survey? Do you feel comfortable creating reports on survey data? Have you previously taken other Acrosoft trainings? Are you familiar with Freedom's forms and email marketing modules? Would you recommend this training class to others? And will you take other Acrosoft training classes in the future? Then after we've filled out our survey, we can click Submit. And you see that after completing the survey, our confirmation page appears with my name auto-populated in. Now let's close the window and return to our blue interface and our Overview subtab. My statistics have been updated here. When I click on Email Statistics, this section now shows the campaign history detail, including the name of the campaign and who it was sent by, as well as the campaign statistics, including total views, which tells how many people viewed the email, and total click-throughs, which shows how many people clicked the link to take the survey. We also have detailed link click-through statistics showing which link people clicked on in the email, if there was more than one. And below that is a detailed list of email recipients with information including email address and individual information on whether the recipient received the email in HTML, if it's sent properly, the date and time sent, the number of email views, the number of clicks, the click date, responses, and whether the recipient forwarded the survey to others. If you click on the submission section, you can see detail about the survey submissions, including the name of the survey submitter, the date received, the status, and the survey name. Clicking Edit under Action allows you to edit the survey submission and update the date received and its status. For example, you could change the status from pending to processed or archived, just like with a form. And clicking the checkbox allows you to delete the submission. The email statistics and submission sections of the Overview tab will continue to automatically update with each new survey response received, and you can check back here for an organized overview of recipient activity. The last subtab in the survey module, Reports, is used to create reports on the data that you've received from your survey. On our Reports subtab screen, you have two options, a detail report and a summary report for your survey. Clicking on each report link will take you to a screen that allows you to view the report and print, export the survey data to an Excel file, publish or close the report. If we click on Excel, within the summary report link, for example, an Excel spreadsheet with a summary of the survey data will open. And on this screen, you see all of the answers to the survey questions. If you click Edit next to each report, you have the option to choose what fields you'd like to display in your report. And you can see that you have the user fields, which are the questions included in your survey, as well as system fields that you can choose to include in your report if you'd like. That concludes our survey module training. For more information on the survey module or on Acrosoft Freedom, please visit www.acrosoft.com, call 888-965-3330, or email info@acrosoft.com.